Hi everyone, you're watching Forex, and today is a new technical analysis for the new Forex trading week. So let's start with Euro Dollar as usual. Unfortunately, I didn't have any trades this week as Euro Dollar was a little bit messy for me, and I didn't see any good opportunities to go for any trades. So you see, this is the 1 hour chart, and this is how we left it last time. That was the week, and remember the market was in an uptrend channel, stopped around this area, and expectation was that, of course, it could go anywhere. It could either continue the uptrend, or it could have been the change the direction already, because I was telling you that for a while euro dollar was going up, so was expecting the change in the direction. And if we look on a daily chart, remember that channel I was talking about, and when around this top, I was saying that possibly we could move a little bit by using these bottoms. So I'm just trying to move to show you a little bit roughly. That's how I was telling you when the market was here. So expected, because previously you saw the level was a little bit higher, so it did look like it could go up, but because we had also these two bottoms, so another expectation was that possibly that was already enough for the market and the time to turn around, or for a correction, let's say, or continue the downtrend. So that's what I was waiting for, but now I'm still thinking to bring the levels back. And why I do use more that channel, because it touches a bit more the candles. For example, this one, it's just a little bit higher. I can put it a little bit lower, so you can see roughly just a little bit like that. So because it touches a little bit more candles, that's why I prefer that level this way. The other way, it only uses these three tops, ignoring the other two. So that's why I still prefer it like that, and it did look like that the market could have continued to get a little bit closer to that level and then turn around. But it started to turn around already this week, a little bit earlier, and you can see I could draw a little bit new levels for a little downtrend. And on the daily chart, it does look like something like either double top, or maybe it could be shoulder, and that could be head, and then that downtrend could turn around and continue the uptrend to be like a second shoulder, or maybe continue and finally we'll get to the level. So at the same time, you see that's the new level I draw here using this area, these candles. And so the market stopped right now here. So for the new week, that will be of course visible where it will continue to go. So at that point, at this moment, it does look like maybe it's, if it's a bit of the pattern, then that could be a turning around point. So that's all. I mean, what I'm trying to say is at this moment I can't say what is going to happen, so need just to see. And exactly the picture wasn't clear for me all week. That's why I didn't want to go in any trades. So that's what I'm trying to explain to you. For example, like remember a previous week I had this little channel where I could place the trades for buy, well, also for buy and for sell, and the market went up, you can see. And also I was expecting to continue to go higher, target one of the levels. That's why I was placing the orders for more buy, but you can see it turned around a little bit, went up again, and then was moving up and down, up and down. So that's that kind of way. And usually, I do like to look for some patterns or channels. And at some point, quite often I would place the trades just using the levels. So let's say I had this level, so I could have placed for just buy or sell, but at a little bit, let's say, more quiet market. Right now, for me, market is a little bit of mess. How I like to say is unpredictable where it can go. That's why at this moment I'm trying to play a little bit more safe. and looking still for good patterns and not just using the levels. So for example, what happened this week when the market stopped here, that's what I was expecting, maybe continuing in that channel and continue the way to the important level of the downtrend channel. Or it could have been a turning around point, which I was saying to you, because that level could have been drawn a little bit low, just as I showed to you earlier. That's why that I was saying it needs creating of some patterns. But that's 1 hour chart. Even if I will go on the 30-minute chart, you can see that unfortunately for me, what happened, you see, on Monday, the market already moved, touched the level, and it turned around, so there is nothing showed me on Monday, of course, and then on Tuesday, again, it dropped, and then it had a little correction, and it just slowed down and stayed a little bit in, let's say, flat. I didn't continue a little bit lower, like you can see, this is the new levels I could draw to see if it's actually, maybe it started a downtrend, but unfortunately it was nothing here. I didn't feel comfortable to go for any trades, and unless that was a little channel here, but because it was Friday, I didn't want to risk it, because as I'm saying right now, for me, it looks a little bit messy, and that's why I didn't want to go in any trades for euro dollar. So that's how the previous week looked to me, and now I said the market stopped around this level, so that's gonna see, will it continue inside that channel, or maybe it will create something around this area on Monday. Possibly it would be a little bit more visible and understandable. Will it be something like a channel or anything? Maybe already, let's say in this situation, I will be placing, if there will be any conditions like channels or other patterns, I would be looking for my usual ways of trading, buy and sell orders. I will be looking for orders, placing the orders for buy and sell. So that I'm hoping it would be a little bit better movements on Monday, not exactly how it happened the previous Monday, so it dropped straight away, and or nothing created on Tuesday. As you can see, for me, it's I don't didn't want to risk anything, like, and just waited for patterns. Nothing happened, nothing I could see, except of course if you look on a bigger chart again, it could have been visible, like something like also pattern. You have one top, you have another top, and then it was like a third top when it's created on Monday. So you could have looked at and think, okay, it's either head and shoulders too, or triple top, but because it's not very straight, I like when that pattern is a bit more straight. I didn't make any videos about it, so there are some little bit details about it, how I like to trade it, how I like to look at it, and then when it's a little bit not straight, I don't really like to use that pattern, as it could be not as correct as when it's a bit more symmetrical and more horizontal, let's say. And that one looked a little bit not straight, so you can see maybe like could have used the shoulder, one shoulder, another shoulder, and this is the head, and because you see they're like with a little bit of the corner going that way, so maybe to draw something like that, and then that could have been a point to place the trades for sale. But as I'm saying, I like it to be a bit more straight, and because it wasn't symmetrical, I didn't use it. It's quite often I do not use it, and it might not be always working right. So that's how I end up with euro dollar this week. And as I said, for the new week, we'll be looking what's going to happen here. And just as I said, that possibly it could be a pattern if it's a head and the shoulder, and a possibility of market turning around and creating that shoulder, or the third top, let's say 1, 2, and third finally to touch the level, and possibly either finally turning around properly, or maybe trying to break it. So it all depends again what's going to be happening. So this is the technical analysis, and then we need to see what's going to happen politically and in news, economically, financially in euro and US. So that's what's my view for euro dollar. Okay, let's go to a pound dollar. And as you remember, I was in a trade, and going to the 1 hour chart, so it'll be a better picture. I was around here, and you can see on Monday the market continued way down. Remember I told you about that level where I was saying it's quite important because it did look like quite like a neck area of the double tops, where I was saying if there is something we're creating, I will be trying to place more another trade orders for sell, because I prefer to sell pound, because I think many people would know it might be a little bit risky to buy at this moment because we know about Brexit, and but the main movements expecting in March. The main answer finally maybe about the UK coming out from the EU, and in my opinion, still it could be that I'm saying a possibility that the pound could be pushed before March a little bit higher. That's what I was saying. So that level, around that level, I'll be looking for sell, but at the same time, that level could have been to be as another turning point for pound to go up again, and expectation that it might go up and a little bit down, up and down, and maybe still will get to that level roughly. I'm not talking about just 1 week, not just tomorrow, next week, but maybe a few weeks or something up and down. And by March, if it will be a rough exit, then you know that logically pound should drop. But I'm saying Forex, you never know what can happen, but this is what I will be expecting. I think many people would, and I think at this moment that many people are waiting for any movements for pound dollar. Anytime it goes up, everybody trying to sell it straight away. So that's why I think it's going to be again ups and downs, but still a little bit more thinking it will continue up. At the same time, as you can see, these are new levels I put pound into two channels. I don't need this little level anymore, but I'm still keeping this these two, because one is from the downtrend. You can see that little red, and the other red one, that one I'm leaving, is because it's from the let's say necks of the double top. So you can see the previous week, this is where I was in a trade. So you can see it touched first time, but it was on Monday. That's what I'm saying. It was really good. I do really like trade euro dollar more, but when there are no options and I don't see possibilities for euro dollar, it's good to look at the other pairs, especially if they do show you some good signals, let's say. So you can see, just as expected, I was saying the pound dollar might touch that level and turn around, and it didn't have enough strength to turn around too much, and it's created a nice channel. So of course you would go for a smaller charts. It's a 30 minutes, and go in 15 minutes chart, it would be even more candles. It would be a little bit better channel. That's what I used, and I placed another sale order, and I could catch that movement. And of course, when it started to consolidate around this area, I closed half positions. I placed the trailing stop, and I was come out for both trades, the one I had from the previous trade from here, and from the second one when it's turned around. It's actually, I didn't expect it turning around. That's why I'm saying, that's why I'm always using the stops, moving them, so I would come out from the trade in time with a profit. So of course, when it was consolidating around this area, I had another 20 pips down, and I had another order to sell, which didn't trigger because the market turned around. And that's it. So as I'm saying now, I will be looking again for what behavior is going to be from the pound. So you can see that's two channels I draw. The one is a downtrend and one is an uptrend, just to see what is the market is going to treat, which level is going to treat. Maybe it will be already visible on Monday. So what I will be looking at, will it, would that movement continue down? Would it break that level easily, for example, and would it break also that level easily? So in my consideration would be, if the market will not, let's say, right now I could use, because I have two tops and two bottoms. So at this moment I can say, okay, possibly it's in the uptrend, so it continue, and maybe that little movement will continue go up, and would ignore these two level and continue here. So that's what would give me an idea. Still the same thought that pound dollar will be moved a little bit high before possibly a good drop. So that's what I'm saying. So probably for until March or something, it might continue inside that channel. Maybe we'll be creating some other patterns, and then we'll see maybe on the breaking point. So, but at this moment, for example, yes, it's going up. So if it will not break these two levels, so I would presume it's going up. At the same time, it has to ignore these two levels. So if the market, for example, will go and would be stopped by this level or that one, then I would expect that it slowly here you see it would go something like that, that it slowly is continue the downtrend. The same, it will ignore that, it will continue the downtrend. So I will be more considering it does go down. So maybe hopefully again it will create some maybe consolidations or anything. So it will give me another possibility again to go for sale, for example, with let's say target of that level or maybe even breaking it. That's what I'm saying. All depends, of course, on the conditions, what the news are going to be there, but technically this is how I will be looking at it. At the same time, again, we can see we have again not very symmetrical, like a pattern head. That's the head and the shoulder. This is another shoulder, but again, you see it's not very symmetrical. It's it goes under the degree, and that's what I'm saying. Okay, in that way, yes, it kind of give an idea or signal that it should continue, right? Just like the pattern itself, we have, well, at least to that area, right? Not all the way, let's say, to that level, but at least halfway, or possibly to that level of this downtrend channel, and then maybe it will turn around. So yes, one of the signals it could be that, but I'm saying because right now market is reacting on just anything, on any news, anything they say politically, any comments about Brexit, it can move in any directions. That's why I need to be careful, but still I will be, I'm saying, looking for the patterns, good patterns, and then only I would go for trade. So I wouldn't just rely on the levels at this moment, because as I'm saying, sometimes when the market is a bit more quiet, I would at some point I would place just the orders from the important levels, but because I'm saying right now it's a little bit messy, I would be just waiting for safety for better looking patterns. So that's how I will be looking at pound dollar again for the next week, looking for patterns around these levels and see how the market is going to treat any of them. I know it's quite messy looking, but that's how it is. That's how I look at it. Okay, let's go to Australian dollar, and Australian dollar didn't do anything in my opinion, in my eyes. I also decided not to touch it because to me it's quite flat, and kind of a bit risky to go for any trades, let's say, because at that moment we have what we were last week we were here, we had one top, and then the second one I was saying maybe it's the double top, and it was double top. You can see it was stopped around the bottom of the previous top, and I had that level here, and it's at the same time you can see these important levels which are from the previous trade, and if you're watching the videos, they were very important, these levels. I had some trades using those levels, and now again we're already here a few months later, and the market is still using these levels, and they're still important. You can see how that drop was stopped by that level. So what I will be looking at again, I mean, it's a quite wide channel, I would say. You can see it's about 70 pips, right? We have that little one. It's from the triangle, and just I was saying to you, I'm waiting for the triangle to work for that pattern. So my first thought, of course, that it's been going for a long time up, and now it's reached the level. So I'm expecting to turn around and continue the pattern right to that level. Of course, not in 1 week, not in 1 day, but slowly continue. So of course, the purpose is to catch the trade and the movement, and get a few trades out of it on selling it. Yeah, which would be quite long trading. I mean, it's not going to be just in 1 day, but step by step. So it's about 400 pips, of course. 400, about maybe 300 if we will go a little bit further. Depends when it's going to start to happen, but it's expected around this area the market would have a little bit consolidation, because of course nobody knows where it will move, the uncertainty. So it will be for a while, of course. It ain't going to be forever, but for some time. And so I'm saying the Australian dollar could happen any moment. My eyes will be on it because I don't want to miss that move. Of course, it also can possibly go up and break the triangle. So it depends how strong the Australian dollar, how weak the US dollar will be. But technically, that's what I will be looking for and looking at. So what I will be considering how to look at all of this. So first, of course, around this area, I will be looking for creation of any channels. For example, that one was quite nice, but it still went up and quite close to the border of the triangle. So, for example, again, if the market will move up around here and then will start to drop quite fast, then I would treat this level as a stopping point again. So I wouldn't go into sell straight away if for example, market from here will drop straight away. Which possibly, yes, I might would be able to miss a good movement, but it's, for example, if it will go and break it, it still will have to come back a little bit or reverse or to have a little bit correction. So I will be still looking around these areas and expecting it to create something again, maybe a little bit higher, just like it was already started to create. So hopefully they would be able to sell from around this area. At the same time, so possibly if it will not continue moving like this, you can see like up and down, a little bit chaotic, let's say. Maybe if it will create something nice around this area, maybe nice channel or another nice pattern, then I will be maybe looking for placing the trades, sell trades around this area, around that level. So you see, that's what I'm saying. These are my main levels, which I will be looking at. Of course, this week, see what's going to happen around those levels. And that's how I will be trading. If it will be an opportunity, so I will be looking for these two levels, any patterns around it. So that's how I'm going to deal with Australian dollar. If anything reasonable is going to be next week, but I'm not going to jump into something, let's say, silly or go for small trades. No, I will be looking for something really nice. Like you see here, I didn't see anything to go around here except, yes, I was hoping that this week it will. So yes, I was looking at that level and I was thinking if it will start to break, so I will be selling from that level. But it didn't break, you can see. So I would presume, yeah, the market treats is quite important, and maybe the breaking of that level is going to be a good breaking point for Australian dollar. So we'll see. But also, as I'm saying, it could be starting from here. Maybe it will drop to here. Maybe it will turn around again. But I mean, even if it's created around this area, something is still quite nice, around 80 pips distance. So, and that's what we're going to see. So I'm saying if something will create here, if it will go down, so I would look at it still as a stopping point. So maybe closing some positions, and then hopefully it will be breaking it. That's how I will be looking in let's say a good scenario. But what is going to happen, we'll see. But these two levels I will be looking at. So that's with Australian. Now dollar yen, and with dollar yen I told you that I will not be saying anything where it could possibly go, because remember that was the week and I was saying there is nothing that shows me that area before all of this happened. It didn't tell me anything, because we saw I had that important level where it was visible that the market is stopping around this area, but it didn't want to jump inside the downtrend channel. And you can see we had before previously dropped, then we had like one bottom and second bottom, and that level ended up is quite strong. From that, the market dropped, and it didn't continue, didn't create a third bottom, let's say. So possibly maybe it started to create the third bottom now, but that's what I was saying. I didn't want to do anything, because you can see it dropped, but it didn't want to go inside the downtrend channel, didn't want to continue to go down. So what happened afterwards, I said it needs a little bit more time to see, and then I saw during the week what happened. It's created, you see, the double top, a double bottom at that level. So I had the trade on the buy because of the creation of the nice pattern around this area, and between one level and between another important level. So that gave me a good indication that the market doesn't really want to go down, that dollar yen doesn't want to give up, and that possibly it will be because it also was going down for a while, so I was expecting it changing the direction, so I could go into that trade. So, and now I will be looking at, you can see it went up and went down a bit. So, of course, when something like this created, first thought will be in the head that maybe it's possibly starting the creation of a pattern, of course. But when you only have one top, it could be anything. So, okay, you'd think, well, of course, it can continue down and just be as it is, just the one top. But the more thought would be that possibly, yes, okay, maybe it will go down a little bit, but then it might create a head. So it could be possibly pattern of head and shoulders, or maybe it's the one wave, then it's second, then the third wave. Finally, we'll be getting back to that level. Of course, I'm not talking again about 1 week, but who knows, it could be a possibility. But that's what the first thing in the head, that now we need just to see where that movement will finish and what is it going to do, because at that point, as I'm saying, the trade like for me was already here. You can see how the market was sitting around that level, and then how it broke it, created a double bottom. That's why I'm saying you need to look on a bigger charts to see where and what it creates around which levels, and then you go on the smaller charts and you can place the trades, place the orders. And here it is, you can see. So now we will see what's going to happen. I'm going to see what's going to happen on Monday, because right now there's like nothing you can do. Well, nothing I would do. Wouldn't go for anything else, for any other trades, just to see if it will actually goes back to that level. Maybe it will be stopped by that level. Maybe it will break it again, and then again to decide what to do. Because as I'm saying, you can see how chaotic the movements of the pairs these days in the market. So what else? If I would look, that's all at this moment for dollar yen. As I'm saying, I don't even want to move, for example, that level, because we had here quite flat tops. You see the same distance kind of tops. That's why it's no point to move this right now. I mean, I know we have one and another top and roughly like a bottom, so possibly like to try to draw another downtrend channel, but I wouldn't do it because I can see that the market treated this level. It's quite important level, so I'm going to leave it and see what is it going to do, because you see how it was stopped here, and it was all around this level. So just see what's going to happen, and is it trying to create another pattern maybe, hopefully, and then to go for trade. So with dollar yen, I probably, well, depends, as I'm saying, what type of the pattern is going to be, and placing the trades for buy and probably maybe sell. So that's what we're going to see next week. But at this moment, it's nothing. Here was the trade. If you were looking at it, this is the trade. Right now, it's nothing, just a waiting time again. Dollar CAD, nothing for dollar CAD really. I've done this week because again, it's a very important level, and always when it's around the levels, it's kind of, it could be a bit messy, because you know the levels, we have a little bit out of the levels, the candles. So here it's also happened to be out and then come back. And right now you see I have one level, and I could draw this one using this 1, 2, and 3 tops. And on a bigger chart, you remember we have, it's kind of like goes into the uptrend, and we have the head and the shoulders, and we had double tops again. So the market is kind of, with the pattern, goes down. And but right now around here, it could continue the pattern, continue go down, or of course it can turn around. That's why I thought it was a little bit risky to go for any trades for dollar CAD and didn't want to do anything. So you can see that's the previous week. It broke the levels and stopped around here. Well, created some kind of like little consolidation, and then it went up. So you see, it didn't continue the downtrend, so it went up, continued a bit more up, and then slowed down and broke again. So for me, again, it's a little bit chaotic again, and nothing I can see for dollar CAD to go into the trade for me. Of course, on a little bit smaller chart, you can see that that looked like a little shoulder, that looked like a little head, which did kind of roughly, you can say, did touch it, come back. So maybe it's like one shoulder, and maybe that's like a little shoulder, and possibly might continue to go down to this area, or maybe even continue to that level. But it's really, really not very nice and not very attractive. Maybe the market would treat this is the whole head and that's the shoulder, and possibly it could be this is maybe shoulder. So that might turn around and then again turn around and continue the trend, or maybe it will come back, will sit around this area and will be trying to break that level, because, well, it's been going for a while down, so maybe it will be trying to go back up, because also I will not draw it, but you can see these bottoms are kind of indicating a little bit going up, right? So that's why I would think maybe some movements around this area, maybe it will go into the consolidation again, maybe we'll create like a channel around here. So if possibly we will, for me, like the perfect would be if it will create like something like a channel, and then I would be able to place trades, orders for both ways, sell or buy. So that's what I will do. And of course my target would be this area, and if it will go up, then of course the target would be there. But again, as I'm saying, not in one day, not in 1 week, but possibly. So because we have I know that's this is from the previous shoulder. So that's how I look at it right now. So I didn't go for the trades last week, didn't want to risk it, because as I'm saying, it's looking a little bit messy right now for me, but that's how I will be looking at dollar Canadian next week. Okay, euro pound. Euro pound, I had 2 trades. I had 1 trade, and I'm in the trade right now. Unfortunately, it's losing trade. And you remember on the big chart, we have head and shoulders. The same here is a little pattern, also head and the shoulder. And remember when the market stopped around here, so I presume that that could be now the shoulder, and if there would be a shoulder, it will turn around just like that shoulder. And that's exactly what happened. And I could go in trade. I had a sell, so I used this pattern, which is from, again, you see, from the big one, when I said that's the shoulder, and possibility that's the stopping point will be shoulder too, so it will be going. So, and when it's created like the one signal, okay, it should turn around because it does look like a shoulder, and also it's created again like a triple top, or like a little shoulder, little head, and another shoulder. So I used that neck to sell, and I closed the trade around here. And again, I went on the smaller chart, and I used this pattern as a triangle, and I was hoping that that drop will be continued after that triangle down. Well, I had both orders, except I had the orders for buy and the orders for sell. So the buy didn't happen because obviously the market went down. So it took me into the trade. So right now I'm in this trade, and you can see how big the spread at this moment. So of course, because of that spread, I'm right now I'm in a losing trade. So hopefully right now is you see it started to turn into consolidation, let's say bigger consolidation. So it creates a little bit more like a channel, which is quite wide. And of course, well, hopefully my expectation would be, so if that's the channel, hopefully it will continue the way down, and I could close at least some positions on my trade and keep it going. And of course, my target would be that area. Not exactly, so I'm not expecting to catch the whole movements, for example, that area. And then it's like next after that, but at least wherever halfway, protecting if they move in the stop as usual, you know, that's how I trade. So, but hopefully it will continue going to here at least. So, for that, I need a little bit stronger pound next week. So, well, if I guess if the market will not continue down, I will be placing the order to buy. So if I will, the market will turn around on me, so I can cover the loss on that trade. So, but at this moment, I'm in this trade for euro pound. So that's how with euro pound. And going to gold. Of course, as I said, I'm not going to touch gold these days because it's too messy for with every pair and with everything what's happening in the world. But as I expected, as I was saying, that just looking on the market, it did look like the gold is just continue going up with some corrections, like it had here double top and it's corrected. Now it went up again and had a little correction here. And this is just saying, for example, if I would go for trade, I wouldn't go because there were no like patterns again, nothing for me. As for gold, as I'm saying, it can move in one direction for a long time, and you can went into a bad trade and blow up the account quite easily with gold, as I believe, because I think it can move very fast against you. So that's what I was saying again from the previous week, and I'm saying this week, for example, I would be looking for going to that level because it's quite important level. If we will look in a weekly chart, you see, that's what it makes me feel, all of these tops, bottoms. So my expectation would be okay. Possibly it will continue to that level and create something around here. So this is when I will be looking at the trades. Of course, would be looking more for something to sell, because if it will be going up, then you expect a correction, turning around point. But is it here happen? You see, it went up and broke, and then it's created, well, some, let's say, consolidation, if you can say, and then continue higher, to move higher, and then it's created this nice triangle. So look on a smaller chart. It was very nice pattern. But right now here is nothing. I mean, just what I see is it's continue going up. I mean, but as I'm saying, for example, okay, we will see, oh, it's going up, and maybe it will continue going up, and you might go to in a trade to buy, but you can see then suddenly you can have a correction. So you see, like here it was just going and going. For example, like I'm saying, you would wait for, you draw something like that, and you wait for that level to break. You would look for that level to break, and then yeah, then you could go for this trade, which is like about 160 pips. But if you're not expecting for it to go down, yes, like you can see slow going up, and you're thinking, now maybe I just buy it, and then it does something like this, and you see you might not have enough amount. So that's, you need to use money management to wait for that to recover and come back again. So that's what I'm just trying to say. At this moment, there is nothing, and as I'm saying, just because quite often I do use this type of trading when you're just waiting for, like, you draw something like this, and then you wait for breaking it, and then you place your trade, your order to sell. And but as I'm saying, because the market moves like this right now a little bit unpredictably, that's why you need, well, I would look for a bit more confirmations, or to do something like that, look for the other levels and stopping points. So here it's, you see, it's turned around, had a little correction. Now it, well, possibly it could be a turning point. Of course, maybe it's, you know, you're always waiting for that when it's going to turn around. So what is here, of course, on the daily chart, if you look, for example, yes, you might see that we have one again shoulder, and maybe that's the creation of the head. So you might create also double top or something here, and then wouldn't go to that level, right? So you might stop around here and turn around, go down. At least, for example, if it's going to be head and shoulders, it will go to that level and then create the shoulder again. Or it could be again one wave, second wave, and then third wave. So that's what I'm saying. When it's like that, you just need to wait for, go for the smaller charts and look for other confirmations, like for the patterns, for consolidations. Like, for example, yeah, here Possibly you could look for, okay, this looks like a channel, but it's too rough to me, for me. You see how it's like, it's not very nice. It's not beautiful, straight candles in, let's say, a smaller range, because if you look at like, what's the range here? It's like 50 pips range, so it's quite a quite wide range for, it's like a 30-minute chart, and you look for 15-minute chart, you'll see the same. It's a very wide channel. But as I'm saying, well, you can risk it, but as I'm saying, for me, for example, I prefer a little bit better conditions on the market. So that's what I'm saying. For example, for gold right now, I wouldn't go and trade. I mean, that's how I see gold. Just or wait and see what is it trying to create. So it could be, as I'm saying, possibly like a mirror of this movement. So maybe it's like one top will create like a little other top like that one, and then maybe it will drop a little bit more. For example, if you look here, it's like we're using the Fibonacci, and you can see the correction is quite small. It's 38 level, and then you can move and see, let's say, if it will repeat something similar. So then you can see when it's like created that this is like, well, also around 38. So for example, we'll go and create another, and then for example, it will drop also 38 like the previous one, 38, but maybe a little bit lower, like 50 or 61, and then continue the uptrend. So that could be something like that, but it's getting very close to that level. It might just continue to go to that level and create something around this level first. That's why I'm saying what options, what it can create. And so right now, as I'm saying, just a waiting time too. I will be waiting and see what's going to happen, what is going to create. But at this moment, it's just going up. It had a small correction. It's just continuing the way up. That's all. Okay, so that's my views on the pairs for the next week. And if you like the video, don't forget to subscribe, and happy trading, and bye everyone.